Turn that around. Look at that. That looks delicious. That's what we're dealing with. Look at that. Delicious. Let's have a bit of the rice in the sauce. This beats fried chicken. Hello, folks. You've seen how it tastes. Now let's see how it's made. I'm looking forward to making this. So I made some cheesecake the other day, and it called for 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Sour cream's another ingredient that I don't really buy a lot of. So I asked ChatGPT. I had some boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I asked ChatGPT to find me a recipe that includes sour cream with it that I could cook in the Instant Pot. And here it is. It's going to be sour cream chicken, and I'm going to serve it with rice. It's going to have a sauce. I'll go through the ingredients. I've got 1.5. The recipe calls for 1.5 to 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I have about 1.8 pounds there. And then a cup of sour cream. This is going to come in after it's cooked. And I've mixed into that 2 tablespoons of flour. That's going to be the thickening agent. I've got here a small onion and 3 cloves of garlic that I minced up. And I've got a teaspoon, probably a little bit more. I like to add a little bit more of both thyme and paprika. And then I have 1 cup of chicken stock. I just use OXO or chicken bouillon. And then I put a little bit of avocado into the Instant Pot. I have it on Sauté now. And we're going to go ahead and chuck the onion and garlic in and start cooking that up a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this so that it's translucent. And then what we're going to do is throw the chicken in a couple minutes. We're just going to get this started. Now, we don't want to cook the chicken in here. We just want to brown it. But while the onions and garlic are cooking, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of olive oil in with the chicken, mix that in, and then I'm going to incorporate the spices in there. Let's get those all mixed in good. Get both hands. I can see I'm going to have to trim this video because I'm not going to be able to press any buttons. I'm very sensitive about touching chicken and making sure that the hands are cleaned up afterwards. The recipe doesn't call for this, but I like to put olive oil or avocado oil onto the chicken because it just helps the spices coat to it better. So I'll bring you back, and then we'll start putting the chicken in. Stay tuned. Okay, time to chuck the chicken in. Now again, all we want to do is get these brown. We don't want to cook them for very long. Stir those up. Mix them all in. And we want to get a good brown and a sear on these. And don't worry about them sticking to the bottom of the pan. That's actually a good thing because we're going to deglaze it with the chicken stock here. I'll get this pan out of the way. So I'm going to let those brown up. Once they're ready and we're ready to go to the next steps, I'll bring you in and let you see what it looks like inside the Instant Pot. Here we go, folks. So that's been cooking now for, I'd say, about 4 minutes. As you can see, the chicken's, it's not pink anymore. And the onions and the garlic are all incorporated. I'm going to set you back down. And now we're going to go ahead and add in our chicken stock and get that all mixed up. Make sure that there's no burnt bits or any browning on the bottom. You want to scrape the bottom. We're just deglazing it here. So make sure, again, that you're taking your, bring you up and show you what I'm doing. See, I'm just making sure that there's no bits stuck on the bottom. Make sure that that bottom is clean. That's very important. And the good thing about this is this dish you can serve. We're going to end up with a nice thick sauce because of the sour cream that we're going to put in afterwards. It's going to cook fairly quick too. This only cooks for 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn that off the Sauté. The bottom's clear. I'm going to move this over to pressure cook. Lid on it. I'm on a roll now. That's 2 for 2. And we're going to cook it for 10 minutes. Press start. Once that's done, there's no natural release. We're going to release the pressure right away. Add the sour cream. We're going to take the chicken out, and then we're going to add the sour cream and put that on Sauté to thicken up the sauce. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, we're back. The timer went off. There's no natural release. We're just going to release this. 10 minutes is all this took to cook. It took more time to prep the food. That noise is going to interfere, so I'm going to let that finish. But I do want to mention something about the salt when I come back. Okay, the noise has died down. The pin hasn't dropped yet. But you'll notice that I didn't add any salt to it. And the reason for it is because I used OXO, and there's a ton of sodium in OXO in the chicken bouillon that I use, so I didn't bother. You can always add that afterwards if you find that it's not too salty. I don't really add a ton of salt in my food. I use it for seasonings when I'm cooking. But again, there's already sodium in that. So let's see if that's dry. Yep. Oh, man, that looks good. And just think all the chicken cooked in that. The first thing I want to do is take one of these out, and we're going to check the temperature on it and make sure that we're at 165 degrees. Yep. We're at 180, so they're definitely cooked. So we're going to scoop the chicken out because we want to start making the broth. I'm going to put that on Sauté and turn that on. It should already be hot, so there's no waiting to heat it up. And while I scoop those out, I'll turn this off and I'll be back. No sense wasting your time. Here's what the broth looks like, folks. You just saw my cat walk by there. That is going to taste amazing. I'm a creature of habit, and typically what I'll do, to move this lid out of the way, typically what I'll do is I get boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and I'll use that to make fried chicken, like KFC style in the air fryer. And that's all I do. Like if I cook something that I like, I tend to stick with it. You can ask my family. I tend to wear recipes out and overdo it. So I'm just going to stir this up. I'm actually going to get a whisk. Make sure that this is one my daughter gave me. Look at that. It's got Mickey Mouse on it. Just whisk that up. Let it heat up to thicken. Once that thickens up, I'll bring you back. This could take about 5 minutes, so I'll let you know how long it took, and I'll be right back. Look at this. Look at that sauce. That smells incredible. Like I said, I'm going to use rice with my dish. If you like pasta, you can use pasta. But I'd say that rice is just about done. You can see that steam coming out of there. I'm going to turn that Sauté off because this is still going to heat. And then we're going to put that chicken right back in there. Don't need that whisk anymore. See, there's still some onion and stuff that left. Let's get everything right back in the pot. That looks good, folks. There's our finished product. Doesn't that look tasty? So I'm going to dip up a dish, and I'll bring you back and show you what that looks like. And then we're going to do the famous taste test. Stay tuned. There we have it, folks. That's our plate. Doesn't that look good? Just turn that around. Look at that. That looks delicious. Okay, folks, we're going to go in for a taste test. Stay tuned. But here's what we're dealing with. Look at that. Delicious. Let's have a bit of the rice in the sauce. This beats fried chicken. Now a piece of the chicken with the rice. This is delicious. This is amazing. This is the easiest thing I've ever made, I think, in the Instant Pot. It took me longer to prepare everything, to chop up the onions and grate the garlic. That's a chore. I've said before, getting the garlic all prepared is a chore, but it's worth it because the flavors are incredible. This sauce is to die for. Chicken stock, then you have the added chicken flavor going into it while the chicken's cooking. The meat just falls apart in your mouth because it's cooked under pressure for 10 minutes. 10 minutes to have a ready-made meal. Add the sour cream, thicken it up with a whisk, and you're ready to go. This is delicious. I'd encourage you to try it out. Very simple meal. Thank you for watching this. If you like the video, please hit that like button. I'd encourage you to check out my channel and look at my playlists. I have them all categorized. And consider subscribing if this is something you want to continue to see. I post videos at least once a day or every other day. Thank you for watching. It's good. Jamie, signing off. I've got to get me some more of this. It's really good.